Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I want to thank you for checking out my video today. If this is your first time checking out my channel, a little bit about me and the channel. I'm 39 years old. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. I have 4 children, and I've been overweight my whole life. I've tried many diets over the years, and I've had success with losing weight, but my biggest challenge has always been keeping the weight off. A lot of times I was using or eating a diet that I just couldn't continue to sustain anymore. Sometimes there was medicines I was taking or prescriptions that I was taking that I could no longer take. And so the diets just were not sustainable. And I never really figured out how to eat healthfully and how to sustain a healthy diet. And so in October of last year, I started to create this challenge that I actually officially started on November 1st of 2020. The big thing about this time is I wanted it to be different and I wanted it to last. So I looked back over kind of the years and what I've done to lose weight and what worked and what didn't, and that's what I really started this challenge with. And I think the two biggest things that I failed with in the past were that I didn't stick to my diet for long enough, or I didn't choose a diet that I could stick to for long enough. And also kind of rewarding myself or thinking I was done when I hadn't actually gone the whole way. And so that's why I started this challenge with the two big goals in mind is that I wanted to stick with it for 3 years. And then I want to lose 300 pounds to get down to a much healthier weight than I started. Uh, if anybody yeah, and so yeah, that's just kind of a little bit about me and the channel. And I've had great success so far. Over the past 11 months, I've been able to lose over 200 pounds. When I first started this, I thought my main focus was going to be using fasting as a way to lose weight, and it did help me lose a great amount of weight when I first started. But over the past year, I've found that what works best for me is to eat a whole food plant based diet and to eat it without the addition of any salt, oil, or sugar in our cooking. And it's really provided me with that sustainable diet that I had always been looking for. And so if anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share or any questions, I'd love to hear your questions. Uh, and I hope everybody had a good couple days since Wednesday. We had our event yesterday, so I wasn't able to stream, and everything went well with that. I'll kind of go into that in a little bit, but um, it here. I guess the first thing, like I said, we had that event yesterday. It was a outreach event to kind of low income and homeless members of our community to help provide them with some toiletries and some other uh, uh, kind of uh, hygiene items that they might not have access to. And it really went well. It was the first time we did the event. It was really nice to meet a lot of these other agencies that are out there trying to help these people get on their feet or to help them get maybe set up in some way to so that they can better their lives. Um the It was also nice that we were able to get our organization kind of out there more and people see that we are offering more services to the community, and that will help kind of grow our organization as well. And that definitely had some people reach out to me yesterday about doing more events similar to that in the future, which is really what I was hoping for. Um, the Like I said, the event went great. We were able to give a lot of items to different people, and the for me, kind of outside of the event and all of that being good, like, but as far as like diet related or this kind of channel related, there was one photo that was posted of me that I kind of had to. I have such a mixed feeling about the photo, and I have it here. I cropped it because it was me. Don't mind the mask blocking my face, but uh, I was giving away some. I think that was underwear or t-shirts to a gentleman that was next to me, and they got a photo of it. But it's such a I have such a love hate with this photo because I look awful in this photo. Like the shirt seems sloppy, the pants seem sloppy. I overall I At the beginning of the event when we first started, I was behind this, actually under this canopy, digging in to grab something, and one of the other volunteers that was standing next to me handing out stuff for somebody else or was working with somebody didn't know who I was, and kind of looked at me and was like, "What are you doing back here?" Uh like you're not supposed to be here. Anyways, and I kind of got that, like I didn't realize that I kind of looked sloppy because my clothes are very big. Like the pants I'm wearing are extremely big. The belt I have on is actually a belt that I can't get tight enough to hold these jeans up. Like this is the first or second time I've worn jeans this year, or this whatever, since the summer, and I don't have they're loose. They're big. Everything I have right now is a little bit loose or a little bit baggy. So I find that, like I said, I'm just looking sloppy in this outfit. And I also had to kind of laugh because I really like this shirt. And it fits all right. If it was tucked in, it might look better. Who knows? I mean, it's probably big on me, and I probably shouldn't, I will wear it. Uh, Actually, I have it here because I wore it as it's a little bit colder out, so I wore it as an overshirt just to be warm today when I left the house. Anyways, I like this shirt. I like the fit of it normally, or I like the way it feels, whatever. I remember not being able to wear this shirt anymore. This is a shirt that I've gotten back into, and it's because the length of it is shorter than I like. When I was bigger, the shirt wouldn't go down as low. If I ever raised my hands up at all, it would show my belly, and I didn't I wouldn't wear any clothing that my belly would show at all. And so I'm really amazed to look at this photo and kind of be like, man, that shirt's almost too big for me now. And I, yeah, so like I grew out of it, and then I went back so quick that I never really had much of a chance to wear it. I mean, like I said, I'll probably wear it the next couple weeks, but it might be too big, and Carrie will for sure let me know if she thinks it's too big or if it looks bad. But like I said, the pants don't help me with either. They're pretty sloppy. But I also have to be like, I feel like this version of me, this 315-pound version of me, was more outgoing. I really wanted to reach out to these people and have kind of conversations with them, or at least make sure that we were getting them everything they needed, because we had lots of things there. We had blankets there, we had toothbrushes, we had soap and underwear and shirts and socks, um and when I was bigger and we did other events which were more focused on our diapers, I would kind of go off and do a task that maybe wasn't so forward facing, like people would see me, I'd help direct traffic or, make sure that they got into the line right because everything was in cars when we did that. Um, but I wouldn't be like asking the questions at the window or doing much of the running, like of going and getting the diapers and bringing them back and forth. And yesterday I was really trying to talk to people as they came up and get involved and do things. So, um, but anyways, just overall, this photo, I kind of have like I said, a love hate relationship with it because I hate the way I look in it, but I also love the fact that all that stuff is way too big for, on me. Uh, and that I'm not a big balloon like I am in that picture there. I mean, I would not have worn that shirt in when I was 520 pounds, like I said, because my lower belly would have stuck out. And I also noticed, kind of unrelated to all this, but I don't wear undershirts as much as I used to wear an undershirt. So I have a work shirt on right now, and I would have worn a work shirt or a shirt um like I have in there untucked, but I would have a shirt on underneath. And in fact, if you looked real close, you wouldn't really be able to see it, but you can see a little bit of a darker gray shirt sticking out underneath my before photo there. That I haven't been so concerned about wearing two shirts because I used to wear two shirts because I didn't like how it looked tucking a shirt in when I was so big, but I didn't want to have a case where I was reaching for something or bent over or my shirt came up for some reason and my bearskin belly was exposed. And my clothing now really is so big that that's not a worry because it just hangs so low. And it's kind of draped over me, like it was in that photo there. But yeah, it was a good event. I was happy that we did it. And yeah, I mean, no. My food has been pretty good since I was on Wednesday. I'm really still loving the oranges right now. They must be in season. They seem to be expensive. They're almost $7 for a 3 pound bag of oranges right now, but they're really good. I had actually bought a bag last week. I think I talked about that, or maybe it was even just a few days ago. It might have been Wednesday that I ate a bunch, and I had finished that bag, and I went and bought another bag of. Is gonna. All right, it doesn't pick up on that. But I bought another bag of oranges today. I needed to get some. I really wanted to get something to drink or get some water in here because that's why I was eating all the oranges the other day. Is I have well water at this building, but it's not filtered at all from the well, so it's got like a really sulfury smell and feel and taste. It's just not good. So I usually have like a jug of water I bring, or I will get cans of water. Like I've been drinking the sparkly bubbly water, but so anyways, I went and got some kind of few groceries that I like to have here in case I get hungry or want a snack. I always end up buying Lara bars when I go to the grocery store too. I really like those. Um the uh other thing I was gonna so I've been listening to Dr. Greger's book, How Not to Diet. And it's a really long book, and I can try to look it up here to see how much longer I have left. But I think I'm under the 2.5 hours left of the 24-hour long audiobook. And I've really enjoyed the audiobook. It's a lot of information. I really like kind of the area of the book I'm in right now. He's talking a lot about little hacks you can do, or just things that help with weight loss or may help with weight loss, or it doesn't hurt to do kind of things. One of them that he talks about is if you drink a couple glasses of water before you eat, maybe half hour or so. And I don't know all, there's so much information. I might be getting some things mixed up or not all the details completely right. But, by drinking water a certain amount of time before, it helps reduce the amount of food you eat by X percentage, and all kinds of other things, just like the fact that if you drink cold water, your body has to use it there's it increases your metabolism, or your body uses energy to make that water room temperature. And just lots of Carrie saying, "Hey, tardy to the party today." Hey, Carrie, I hope everything's going great today. But yeah, so it's just kind of a neat, like I said, part of the book where he's talking about different tips and tricks. And one of the things I think he talked about just before this was running into kind of plateaus in your diet, or finding that your diet's not quite working like it should, work, or like it had been working. And what he says is a lot of times what happens is that you're just subconsciously, you start to eat more food, or when you first start, maybe you're tracking your diet, or you're so set on your diet that you're making sure that you're limiting yourself. And over time you slowly let things slide. There's lots of evidence about, even if you're not recording everything you eat, a lot of times if you looking back and you're trying to remember what you eat, you forget about the snacks that you ate. So you kind of misreport or underreport to yourself how much you've been eating. And, like I said, over time, or over that 9 month, after 9 months or so, you start to, um, plateau, or you start not to have that same weight loss success. And I've definitely felt like I've slowed down with the weight loss. I mean, I'm still 5 pounds heavier than I was at the 9 month mark, even though been losing um since the 10 month mark after the surgery. Um, but and then also you kind of have that mindset that you can reward yourself for kind of, I've done so well so far. What's it gonna hurt to, reward myself or do this, um, and the and I think there's a lot of that happens. But I also think there's other things that happen too. I think you get better at making the foods that you eat. You find foods that you really like, and maybe those foods aren't the best things. Like two of our favorite meals, the miso soup and the chickpea tikka masala, they probably aren't the best choices. If it, maybe the Spanish rice and beans is a better health choice, or the salad with the mustard based dressing is a better choice. But we choose the chickpea tikka masala and the miso more times than we choose those other options. And so you start to kind of bring up the calories that you're eating because you're enjoying the food more. And there was a person on YouTube. I kind of sometimes just search whole food, plant based, or vegan and look at new videos. And there's a lot of people that you do like the starch solution, and they do videos recording themselves doing the starch solution diet. And I was watching this lady do her videos, and she was struggling so much with salads. Like, she was showing the salads she was making, and that she was trying real hard to eat the salads, but she just can't like them. She can't get used to them, and that she's, going to remove them from her diet for a little bit. And, uh, I kind of, I look at her salads, and I'm kind of criticizing what her choices are and why her choice, uh, and I I laugh because I remember the first salad that I tried to make myself kind of on this diet, and it was um I think it might have been like a bag of mixed lettuce that I got from the grocery store, and I might have put corn in it, but I know I used like just lemon juice as like the base for the dressing. Like I was just put lemon juice on it, and it was edible. It wasn't great. It wasn't anything that was going to make anybody say, "Oh, I should eat a whole food plant-based diet." But I ate it because at the time it had the function to me as being part of this diet and what was going to make me healthier. Now, the salads that we eat, I absolutely love. And I eat huge bowls of salad when we eat it, but the dressing has mustard and has maple syrup in it sometimes, or has date powder in it sometimes, so there's a sweetness to it. And the we the ratio of like cucumbers and carrots and onions is all much better than it was the first time that I made my own, or even that Carrie made a salad for us. So we end up like there's you get better at making the food, so you start to enjoy it more and you start to eat more. And the other was that they were complaining about oatmeal and how they got sick of eating oatmeal. And I it was funny to me because I've talked about many times, or a few times, especially in the last couple weeks, how I thoroughly enjoy our breakfast, and it's always the same thing. It's always uh oatmeal with apples and banana and almond butter in it. And uh the other day we were out of the steel cut oats that we normally have for oatmeal, and so we just had regular, no, regular oats or whatever, not steel cut oats. And the oatmeal was not near as good. It was edible, and it had most of the flavor I was looking for, but overall it was not a good it was not as good as the steel cut oats that I like, that I'll eat any day. And Carrie made steel cut oats, I believe it was this morning, for breakfast, and they were probably not cooked. Everything was not kind of cooked long, or I felt like everything could have been cooked longer. The apples could have gotten softer. The steel cut oats could have gotten more cooked or softer as well. And I didn't care. I loved it. It was still good. Like it was still way better than the oats that we had had the 2 days prior. If for some reason I didn't have oatmeal in the morning, my day feels off. I love it so much, is what Carrie says. It's been part of kind of it's a staple for us every day. And in fact, I the other option I usually had for breakfast was a smoothie. I would make a spinach smoothie, and I haven't made myself a spinach smoothie for breakfast in forever. Now, I haven't done it for breakfast forever, but yesterday I did make myself a smoothie for dinner, because it wasn't dinner, it was I needed we had some sort of so I had to go to a Cub Scout meeting, and the meal that Carrie was making wasn't going to be done in time. And so I made myself a smoothie to take on the road or to drink, in that time. And it'd been a long time since I made a smoothie. It'd been probably a couple months since I had made a smoothie, and it was enjoyable. But like I do know why I like the oatmeal more. Like it's just more satisfying. Um, Again, the smoothie is a pain in the butt to clean up. Like that's really, I mean, not that oatmeal's super fun to clean up, and Carrie's the one that does deal with a lot of, or the bulk of the cleaning of the dishes. But the, um, if you have a smoothie and you don't like rinse the cup right away or do something with it, it just gets stuck to the sides and it's just really a pain to clean. Uh anyways, the just listening to the book, the I know I see what he's talking about with the plateauing and you know, like I'm definitely eating larger portions of the food that we're eating because I feel like they're being prepared better because we're tweaking them to our liking. Uh, a couple of the things that Carrie had made in the past that she always gives me a hard time because her mega veggie chili isn't my favorite thing that she's made. She made again the other day, but she had to substitute. We were out of jalapenos, or she couldn't get jalapenos. I'm not sure, but she put Rotel tomatoes in it, and it made it extremely spicy. But it it improved the flavor to me, and I would probably rather have it with the Rotel tomatoes or have it with both. But make putting Rotel tomatoes in the recipe part of the meal. And so if that is the case, or if you know we do things like that and we've done things like that where we've tweaked these to make them a little bit more enjoyable for us, that means the next time we eat them, that on average we're probably going to eat a little bit more than we used to eat. When I had that first salad that was just had lemon as a dressing, I was not eating a large quantity of salad, you know, but now when I eat a salad, we have a dressing we really enjoy, so I'll eat as big a salad as my stomach or as my body will eat. Um, and right now, I'm just kind of letting myself do it, I guess, or I'm just kind of eating till I'm content, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there. But I've lost 200 pounds in the past year, and I got another 2 years to lose the next 100 pounds. Uh, and so I don't know. I just like I said that I just try. I've been trying to continue to listen to books or continue to do you know research things, and I'm like I said, I'm 21 hours into this book, and I'm still really enjoying the content that he's putting into it. And I feel like I'm benefiting from listening to it, and then I'm going to be able to take you know things and maybe apply them in the future, or at least understand that you know they might how they have an effect. You know, I'm not gonna start sleeping with my foot of my bed raised. That's one of the things he talks about in the book is that there might be some research that having a certain pitch to your bed can cause blood flow to help increase different, you know, like there's a lot of little, I mean, if you took the whole book and used you know, every single hack that he talks about, I'd be interested to see what happened. But I don't know that you could possibly do it. There's so many different things that he goes over. Um, time is it? So the last thing I was going to talk about is how just I don't know, just food addiction and how you never I don't know if like I hate to call it food addiction sometimes, but it's also like there's you know times when you make choices that you look back and you kind of question or you don't know how to feel about it and so the other day when we were doing yesterday when we had our event, the location that we had our event at was right next to where I had purchased the meals at from when I did the two Faz feast that I did last month. We were down there. It was an event that went from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. So we were there through the lunch hour. We were actually giving out lunches to people, but there was nothing down there for me and Carrie to eat. And we didn't make any plans for what we were going to eat, or we didn't bring anything to eat with us. So while we were down there, it, you know, really didn't take any uh effort or convincing for me to decide, let's just order lunch from there. And getting a meal from there wasn't a bad choice, I guess, or it wasn't, but it's amazing how quick I was to let myself do it, or to let myself buy something from there that I would not have done 2 months ago. I went there 2 months ago with my family and didn't eat anything. And now 2 months later, just because it was a block from where I was, I kind of felt like I had to go, and I had to go, but I was gonna, like once I got it in my head that I was going to go, I went. And it's the they talk about it in the pleasure trap in a different way, but it kind of the psychological aspect of it, in that I kind of let the temptation of eating out at a restaurant, I gave into that temptation. I didn't give into a temptation that I feel bad about giving into, though. Like, if I'd have gone to Texas, or if I'd have gone to a steakhouse and had a steak or chicken tenders or a big mashed potatoes and chili and cheese and all this other stuff, that would be a totally different conversation I'd be having. I'm literally agonizing over the choice of going to eat at a vegan restaurant. A year ago, that wouldn't have been. I'm almost laughing at myself now to say those words, but the there's also levels of choices that restaurant has too. And I could have probably chose a salad or something that was more whole food, plant based, and less kind of indulgent. um and Again, it's such a hard psychological thing because I don't hate that I did it and I'm not mad that I did it, but I also see how quick I was to being like, yeah, let's do that. Like, and looking at their menu and like knowing what I was going to get, and getting Carrie on board, and not that didn't take any, getting her order and calling it up and ordering it. And uh the and it's just I really think it's the sugar is a huge part of it. Just that the my body or my brain knows the feeling it's gonna get when it eats those, when it eats that sugar and it has that oil, um, and has all that sodium, like that of all of this, like that salt, oil, sugar free is for me what I think has been a key factor in helping with my weight loss and with the the success of it. I know it's not an easy choice to go salt, oil, sugar free. And uh I'm trying to figure out if I can eat it in moderation, like having an occasion, like yesterday, and then not eating again until who knows when. Like, I don't know the next opportunity or the next time I would have that presented to me to eat. Um, I didn't expect to have so many opportunities since I did the Foz feast either, because I did those 2 meals that I ate, and then we had an event that last Saturday that we were by a pizza place that does a vegan only pizza if you want, and then we did our event on Thursday that was very close to a restaurant that is a vegan only, yeah, it's a vegan only restaurant. Um and so, like, I don't know that I'm ever going to have that combination of events fall in line again. Um, and again, and like I said, I don't know that I regret any of the decisions I made. You know, like the thing that I thought about at the time, you know, like I ordered 2 of their sandwiches. Um, I probably could have gotten by with 1, but I didn't necessarily feel satisfied with the 2 I ate. So if I'd have gotten 1, you know, would I have would that have satisfied me, or would I have been happy, you know? Um, we have to stop hanging out over there for, yeah. Um, they just have better options over there, which is, well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Iowa doesn't have a lot of vegan options, right? Like the pork capital of the country or whatever. So it's just a weird couple weeks here, because I've let kind of that into our diet or into our lives, but I also have to not do it, you know, every week. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I but I know not having the salt, oil, and sugar makes me feel better, and so that's what I have to figure out. You know, like I don't want to miss out on the opportunities or the flavors, but uh, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going on day by day and figuring it out. I mean, it's going well so far. I can't be too mad about it. So I'm gonna get out of here today. It's Friday, right? Holy cow. It was a quick week. I hope you guys all had a quick, or all you guys all had, um, hope you all had good weeks and your diets went well. And I hope you guys have a good weekend this weekend. And if you guys haven't started your diet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's nothing coming up this weekend that's more important than getting your health and your, you know, getting this under control. You know, maybe it's just taking a small step is what you got to do at first, or maybe going extreme like I did might, you know, be something you could look at doing. But do something, get started now. Nobody ever at the end of the whole thing, nobody ever gets to their goal or gets to a healthy weight and looks back and says, I wish I would have waited, or that I was so happy that I waited that extra weekend. They all look back and say, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have known the things I know now. Then get started now. Your body will thank you. I mean, it's an amazing difference in how I feel, how I act around people, how I feel people act around me. I mean, it's all part of it. So, um, you guys all have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.